Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. I feel that 2022 was the year where people finally started to turn their back on hyaluronic acid. Until this point, hyaluronic acid was probably the most popular skincare ingredient on planet Earth. Brands were formulating with it in every single product, packing our skincare routines with what people thought was an amazing and game-changing ingredient. Like all skincare ingredients, there are pros and cons to hyaluronic acid, and I'm glad that people have started to move away from it and look at some of the other great options. In today's video, I want to share with you that if you're still clinging on to products like this, the ordinary hyaluronic acid 2%, take a pause and maybe consider glycerin instead. There are lots of benefits to glycerin that I don't think you can get from hyaluronic acid, and they also work in very similar ways. This is what I want to talk about in today's video, so sit back, relax, let's talk saying goodbye to hyaluronic acid. Now before we get into this video, I like to issue the usual old caveat and disclaimer, and that's to say, whilst in this video I'm sharing with you alternatives to hyaluronic acid. If hyaluronic acid really works for you, including the one from The Ordinary, then continue to use it. When it comes to skincare, use what works for you is the motto I repeat time and time again. We all have individual budgets, skin types, and we all want different things from our skincare routine. So a product like this from The Ordinary might deliver wonderful results for you, whereas for a lot of other people, you might be better options on the market, and that's really what I want to explore in today's video. Whatever your thoughts on hyaluronic acid, if you want this style of content to continue here on the channel, don't forget to let me know by reaching down, giving this video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube distributes it on its platform. So it's just the very best way of supporting me as a content creator, and for that I'm always so grateful. Now, in true Mad About Skin style, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So, hyaluronic acid, what is it? What can it do? Well, in its basic form, it's a humectant. Humectants draw in and retain moisture within themselves, so this has a couple of benefits. First and foremost, it can prevent transepidermal water loss, the loss of the moisture in our skin to the environment around us. This means they can be a great addition to a skincare routine if you're particularly dehydration or dryness prone. When they draw in this water, they plump themselves out, which can give a very temporary but immediate anti-aging benefit. The plumper our skin looks, the more diminished fine lines and wrinkles will be, which is another great reason for incorporating humectants into your skincare routine. Hyaluronic acid is also one of the cheapest humectants to formulate with, which is probably why a lot of brands reach for it as like their go-to in their skincare products. It's also very lightweight, so when you apply it to the skin, it doesn't feel greasy, tacky, or heavy. You know, brands often have that end user experience in mind, so they'll reach for hyaluronic acid as a lightweight alternative to other humectants, and it's cheap to formulate with as well. So in brands' eyes, that's win-win-win, ding for them. So hyaluronic acid has so many benefits that I've just outlined, but you can get those exact same benefits and a couple of additional ones to boot by making the switch from hyaluronic acid to glycerin. This is a switch that I made around 3 years ago, and honestly, I've never looked back. I always got some great results with hyaluronic acid, but I found I've got enhanced benefits from glycerin and get that plumpness, that dewiness to the skin that I never managed to achieve just using hyaluronic acid in isolation. So glycerin, like hyaluronic acid, is a humectant, drawing in and retaining moisture within itself, but it differs in a couple of significant ways. First up, glycerin can get a little deeper into the skin to where it needs to be. It's more easily absorbed. Now, hyaluronic acid in its traditional form does struggle to get to the lower layers of the skin to actually give any meaningful long-term plumping and hydration. Brands get around this by formulating with lower molecular weight hyaluronic acids, which act in a very similar way to glycerin. However, those lower molecular weights are actually less skin compatible, so you have a higher risk of sensitivity and irritation as a result of using them. So a lot of people that experience that irritation with the lower molecular weight hyaluronic acids could switch to glycerin and get the exact same outcomes. You get a more enhanced plumpness and dewiness to the skin, and I definitely find that you get better results from glycerin than you do from standard hyaluronic acid. Also, one of the great things about glycerin is it's actually a penetration enhancer. So use it as part of your skincare routine and help the other ingredients that you're using alongside it just get a little bit more effectively into the skin to deliver maximum benefit. So see it as like hand holding, taking those ingredients to where they need to be. But this is a great way of dialing up the benefits you see from your skincare routine without necessarily having to invest more of your hard-earned coin. Getting more bang for your buck is one of the main reasons why I like to reach for glycerin as part of a comprehensive intensive skincare routine. Thirdly, studies have started to show that glycerin is just a better humectant. So whilst I said, like hyaluronic acid, it's a humectant. It draws and retains moisture within itself. Studies show it's actually just a little bit more effective at doing that. So by applying glycerin as opposed to hyaluronic acid, you'll see a little bit more plumpness. You'll see a little bit more of that locking in of that moisture. Great if you've got dry or dehydrated skin. And you'll see that dewiness that I think sometimes we struggle to get from hyaluronic acid serums. Now, if you've got a very oily skin type, hyaluronic acid might be all you need. But for those drier skin types, glycerin can definitely give you that additional benefit that I think sometimes we struggle to get from hyaluronic acid alone. Finally, let's talk about glycerin's ability to help repair the skin's barrier function. Now, our skin has a natural protective barrier, which through a number of things such as environmental aggressors, all the products, the treatments, the harsh ingredients that we use in our skincare routine can become degraded over time. We want our skin barrier to be in tip-top health, and there are some proven barrier supporting benefits from reaching for glycerin that don't seem to be there with hyaluronic acid. Now, of course, glycerin isn't enough on its own when it comes to repairing the barrier function of the skin. You want to use it alongside ceramides and other barrier supporting ingredients like niacinamide, but you definitely get a better outcome in terms of the skin barrier than reaching for hyaluronic acid when you use glycerin as part of your skincare routine. It's for all of these reasons that I think making the switch from hyaluronic acid to glycerin will definitely help to elevate your skincare routine, lock in more moisture and hydration, plump out the skin, but also give you those results that I think we always secretly crave from hyaluronic acid, but maybe we weren't able to obtain. Now, before we come on to my favourite glycerin serums, there is one drawback that I do want to call out. I mentioned earlier in the video how lightweight hyaluronic acid was. Brands love it because it's almost like water-like in its consistency. The same can't be said for glycerin, which tends to be a little bit thicker. Obviously, the higher the concentration of glycerin, the thicker the serum will appear. And if you use too high a concentration, it can leave a bit of tackiness, like a film on the skin. Now, personally, I don't mind this, and the way I get around it is by applying my glycerin serum onto damp skin already. That will enhance the absorption rate of that glycerin, meaning it doesn't sit like a film on the skin, but rather it gets to where it needs to be to deliver all that great benefit. But just to be mindful, if you are worried about a product feeling a bit tacky, go for a lower concentration of glycerin. That way you'll get the benefits, but it'll just feel that little bit nicer on the skin. Now, the two glycerin-based serums that I always reach for are these two. So first up, my own serum, which is the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum. Now, of course, when it came to formulating this, I'd already made the switch in my own routine from hyaluronic acid to glycerin, which is, of course, when I formulated it, I ditched the hyaluronic acid and opted for glycerin instead. I didn't want to go for a super high concentration though, because again, the higher the concentration, the more tacky the product feels. So I went for a 4% concentration, which will give you some really great benefits in terms of plumping out the skin, locking in that hydration, supporting the barrier function. But it doesn't feel too heavy, too tacky on the skin. My top tip is always to apply it, like I said, on damp skin for maximum absorption. But if you do that, it should feel quite lightweight after it's sunk in for like 20 seconds. I like to see this as almost like a skincare routine in a bottle, because alongside that glycerin, you've got antioxidants, you've got some calming and soothing ingredients, you've got azelaic acid, a vitamin C derivative, so much going on. But yeah, 4% in concentration in this, I think, will deliver you great results, minimum risk of that tackiness left on the skin. If you want to go for a higher concentration, you could reach for the Niche Labs Pure Glycerin Serum, 15% concentration. This is for those that want those maximum glycerin benefits. I love this because it's only £14, super affordable. It's also got some amino acids in here which are going to double down on the hydration benefits you'll see. However, this is definitely on the thicker side. They've tried to get away from that a little bit by incorporating some dimethicones, some silicones in here, which do help smooth it out a little bit. This is really great for maximum hydration, but just to caution you, if you have oily or acne prone skin, this might be just a little bit too heavy for you. 15% concentration, the highest you'll find on the market. If you want to get your glycerin fix, this is definitely one that I'd recommend. So there you have it, guys, a rundown of why I think making the switch from hyaluronic acid to glycerin could give you the skin outcomes of your dreams. It's a really effective way of dialing up the humectant benefit in your routine without necessarily having to have additional products. Glycerin is already found in a whole suite of our skincare routine, so ditch the ordinary hyaluronic acid 2% serum. Get some glycerin in your life, and I promise you, your skin will look dewy, plump it, and be glowing to the gods in no time. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.